Jane, Brian, Vika, Kiara, Ducrant, okay, whatever. Jamie, Micah, Elmo, Lucky, Hong Kong, what's going on? What happened there?
Literally name one thing your country does.
Okay, let's try that one more time. Well, not quite sure why that happened. Ronnie Q, Muse, Keith, what's going on? John Virac, what's going on? Hong Kong Tony. That reminds me of that cartoon from the, what do you call it? From the 70s, 80s, Hong Kong Fooey. Stillicon. Chad, good afternoon, Chad. Laurie, XJ Life, Robin, The Fever. You need some ivermectin, probably. Fufu, what's going on? Good evening. Iron Man, what's going on? Bishop, Shin. Hey, I have a question. If I have a covered call on shares I own, for example, 100 NLY, okay. What's happening? Andrew. And it gets called, yeah, and okay. And it gets called. Keep going. I'm listening. Can you check SMTH for me today? It's not what you think, usually like I think. SMTH. What the heck is SMTH? SMTH. It gets called. What happens to the principal balance? What happens then? Well, more than likely, Shin, you get all your money back. Whatever you paid for that stock, you picked a strike to sell it at, and somebody exercised that. So that's the price you're going to get back, and you get to keep the premium. Can I check out that one? I meant SMTH means it's not a ticker. Oh, can you check something? Okay. All right, I get it. What do you mean, something? Well, there's SMTH right there. Right there. SMTH. All right. Okay, what happens to the principal balance? Yeah, you just get that back. As long as you sell it for more than you paid for it. SLV is the ticker. The contract number looks really good to me. SLV. SLV. iShares Silver ETF Trust. Okay. The 44s. All right. So I'm not quite sure what you're looking at. And I definitely wouldn't mind holding it long term. Okay. XEQT. What the heck is that? Austin, what's going on? All right, who do we have over here? Scratch, hello. Do you play Steel a Brain Rot? Nope, never heard of it. But thank you for asking anyway. K-Van says, missed me last night. Hope you're well. Oh, K-Van was a funny story about last night. All right, Gitch and Twan stocks. Two, okay, great investments. Okay, Damien, good evening. Michael Thomas, do you watch NASCAR racing? No. BV, question, sell off. What positions did you open this week? Ooh, it was a couple. Sophie's mom, she came, she went. All right, hold on. Eric wants to take a look at GTCH. I've never even heard of that. GTCH. GBT Technologies. Hell no. Hell no. TWOH. TWOH. Hell no. Sorry, Eric. The stock I have received from work is leaving the NASDAQ. And what do I do with the stock? Sell it before it leaves, would be my assumption. Not that I know anything about your story, But, you know, it is what it is. C-wide spinning. ALK. What is ALK? Alaska Air Group. No. Sorry. Sorry, C-wide spinner. I don't do monthlies, but you know that. You've been here long enough. Okay, November, December, January, April. Yeah, no, no, and no. Sorry. Kate. How are you, Miss Kate? Cadwell Spin. Oh, I forgot to check that. Sorry. Yeah, all righty. Leroy. Oh, dude from Iowa wants to take a look at 3M. 3M. Hold that thought. Dude from Iowa, 3M. Dude, why are you showing me this? Look at this. Seriously, why are we looking at that? What can we possibly do with that kind of information? Now, don't get me wrong, I like 3M. 3M is a dividend king. I mean, they have increased their dividends for a very, very long time. They are very profitable, and they're over 100 years old. But why are we looking at it? Look. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, she goes from 150 up to 170. That's 20 bucks. Now, $20 on a $115 stock is well over 13, 14%, somewhere in that area. So why are we looking at it? Okay, what can we possibly do with that? Sorry. So, Miss Kate, good evening. Thank you for showing up. Any questions, just throw them in there. BV wants to take a look at Palantir, PLTR. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay, it's at 180. The 180 is going for $5. Holy cow. Do you think it's a bad time to get into Harley-Davidson? Foo-foo, hold that thought. Okay? We're going to take a look at Harley in a minute. Right now, we're looking at PLTR. I only looked at the chart. Oh, yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. All right, so BV, why is it do you like Palantir? Palantir doesn't have any dividends, so why are we looking at it? Because a dividend gives me a good idea when is a stock going to move. So without the dividend, I have no real idea what that's going to do and when it's going to do it. It just makes life a little bit more challenging. Sorry, display and brightness. There we go. That's much better. And back to there. There we have it. Okay, so Fufu wants to take a look at Harley-Davidson, HOG. Lily is the best. Lily, how are you today? So we'll look at Harley-Davidson first, Lily, and then we'll take a look at yours. Okay, so first and foremost, Harley-Davidson. Now, I'm always looking at the exact same things every time I look at a stock. 5 things. You ready? Number 1 is the high of the year, the low of the year, where was it a year ago, where is it now, and what direction is it going? Because that's very important. See, she shoots up, drops down, back up, back down, now she's up again. So she's definitely in an upward trend at this moment in time. Okay, great. What do the numbers look like? Remember, rule number 5, make sure all the numbers work. Well, let's check it out. If I'm buying it at 27.63, more than likely I'm going to sell it at 28. And the 28 is going for 5 cents. That can't be right. Well, imagine that. It says between 5 cents and 55 cents. So it's got to be a better premium than that. And more than likely, they're going to make us wait until tomorrow morning when the market opens. Usually, they just freeze the numbers for us to take a look at them. But apparently, lately, they're not doing that. So I really can't tell you about Harley-Davidson. But look at the last 30 days. Okay, 30 days ago, here's your top. She drops down here to the bottom. Now she is definitely going up. I mean, you can't really hide that fact. I mean, she drops. Now she's going back up again. If you like Harley-Davidson, it kind of makes sense. Tiba. Uh-oh. Robert wants to talk about meme coins. Yo, bro, what you trading? You kind of look like my friend Edward. Thank you there, Snoopy. U.S. stocks. What the hell am I doing here? Hey, I'm going to listen to you too. What are you doing here? Do you watch NASCAR racing meme coins? Amazon. Hi. What about UPS? It's at the low in 5 years and pays good dividends. Well, let's check it out, Pablo. Pablo wants to take a look at UPS. UPS. There we go. Same thing, Pablo. You ready? 5 things I'm looking for. Here's the high. Here's the low right there. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down, up. What's going on here? Looks like she's getting ready to drop. Well, let's zoom in. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no to UPS for this week, and here's the reason. 30 days ago, we're at 84. She shoots up, then she drops. Shoots up, then she drops. Shoots up, now she's coming back. Not a time for me to be jumping in when it's pulling on the backside. It just doesn't make sense at this moment in time. Do you broadcast your trades positions when you enter, or do lessons like why you enter a positions? Absolutely. We do it every morning. I only looked at the chart, got that one. D King wants to take a look at NUE. All right. Let's see if that's better. That's a little better. Move that. Move. There we go. All right. Where were we? Oh, how about Keurig Dr. Pepper? Shake my dreads. Yeah, right. All right, UPS. We're looking at UPS right now. That's a no. Okay. Hi, good to see you. I feel like everything you say I can put stock in. Thank you very much. Shake your dreads. Okay, so MIU, Dr. Pepper. You actually got to give me the ticker symbol for Dr. Pepper. Okay, what are your top holdings? My top holding, that's a good question. Intel looks like a breakout. Cool beans. Tiba, I don't really know my top holdouts at this moment. I got 7 different accounts. 7 different accounts. And I'd have to check each and every one and kind of add them all together to find out which one I hold the most of. So, no. Okay. Lily wants to take a look at Intel. INTC. Interesting. Interesting, Lily. Because we seem to be entering into a new trading range. That's where stock goes. It kind of goes sideways. It just stays in with that area. Well, what area are we looking at? We're looking at 36 to 40, or 36 to 38, just, right there. So let's zoom into that, see what it looks like. See that for the past couple of weeks? Staying between here and here. That's called a trading range. She goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, whatever. That's just what it's doing at this moment in time. So what do we do about this? This is Intel. Well, do you like Intel? You have to ask that question. Am I okay with Intel? Do I want to buy it and hold on to it? Do a covered call every week and get some kind of cash flow coming in every single week? I don't know. Do you? Now, I already have Intel, so I have no problem whatsoever. Now, it's not giving me a clear signal whether to hold on to it, whether to buy it, whether to sell it, because basically it's staying between these lines right here not really going anywhere. All right. Next. Intel. We already looked at Intel. KDRP. What is KDRP? Oh, yeah. K, Dr. Pepper. Keurig, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, got it. KDP. KDP. Okay, so who came up with KDP? Unfortunately, Joe. Yeah, Joe says KDP doesn't have weeklies. November, December, January, March, April, June, September, January. Yeah, those are monthlies. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. It's just one of those things. Okay. D King wants to take a look at NUE. Is that Nucor? It is. It's Nucor. Okay. Same thing. Look at this. Stuck between that little range right there. Where's it going? Doesn't seem to go anywhere. Just sideways. So let's take a good gander at it. The high of the year, right here, 170. The low of the year, 100. Here's where it was a year ago, 140. Where's it now? 138. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down. Now it's going sideways. Well, what can we do with that? Well, do you like Nucor? Let's check out the numbers. Okay, so if I buy tomorrow at 138, I sell the 139s, I can bring home 350. Well, that's more than 2%. Now, do some simple math. If 1% a week, 1% a week is 50% per year. What is 2% a week? Isn't that 100%? Isn't that doubling your money every year? Well, doesn't that sound appealing? Sounds appealing to me. Sorry, I just got to move my floor mat. Oh, so it feels good on the feet. All right, so that being said, do you like Nucor? Well, let's zoom in and see exactly what she's been doing lately. Okay, a year ago, we're at 145. We get the high of the year, which was in the beginning of November, and that's 170. So from 170, she drops all the way down to 97. Well, that's a big drop. That's almost $80. Almost 50%. Almost. Yeah, close to 50%. But from there, she jumps back up to 150. And look at your last 30 days. Just the last 30. Here we go. The last 30 days. Here's your high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. What did it do? Up, down, up. Now she's coming back down again. I mean, it's right there. Here's your 30-day bottom. Here's your 30-day top, your new one. Now she's dropping back down. Does it make sense to jump into it now? Or does it make sense to wait a little while, wait till she comes back down this area before she goes back in? I don't know. What do you think? Remember, out of everything you learn, out of everything you see, you only have one person to answer to, and that's yourself. You know, look the guy in the mirror. That's the person you need to answer to. Is what I'm saying making sense, or is it going right over your head? Do you not understand? And if so, ask. Ask whatever questions you want. I'll be happy to answer them. All right. Lily, we already looked at Intel. Thank you. All righty. Lisa, good evening. Thank you for that. Brad Posse, good evening. Cincinnati wants to take a look at Kohl's. Kohl's, one of my favorites. Look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? Let's check it out. Well, here's a high right there. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up. It's in an upward trend right there. So, what do the numbers look like? Now, if you're new here, I got 5 rules and I got 5 criteria. So sit tight. Everything's going to come together. I'll explain everything if you don't know already. 16.20 is the current price. So if I sell next week's at 16, I can pick up 80 cents. Now 80 cents on the stock. Take a look at this right here. That is definitely going up. Does it make sense? And do you like Kohls? Now, I've had Kohls for over a year, and I usually never hold anything that long. Never. But anyway, let's do Kohls. All right, let's get rid of this. Look at the last 30 days. 923, right there. Okay, so this is the last 30 days. Okay, 30 days ago. Down, up, down. Now she's going up. Or is she? What happened today? Today looks like a pullback is starting. From here, 14 to here, 17 is only $3. But think about, do the math. Do it in your head real quick. From 14 to 17, that's $3. Well, $3 is not a lot, but $3 on a $14 stock, that's over 20%. So the question you should have, if I bought a stock and it jumps up 20%, am I going to hold on to it or am I going to take my profits? And it's an honest question. Think about it. Ask yourself the question and be honest with yourself. If you bought something and it jumped up 20%, would you keep holding it? Or would you want to jump out, keep the profits, and then move on to something else? Because that's what stocks do. They go down, find a bottom, turn around, go back up. When they're done going up, they go back down again. And when they do, they turn around and they go right back up until they're done. And then could today be the beginning of profit taking after a 20% increase? Think about it. Okay, if you bought something and it jumps up 20%, are you going to hold on to it? Or are you going to say, nope, I'm going to put this on my list for 2 weeks from today, which basically what I'm going to do right now. Write Kohls down to re-examine in 2 weeks. Because I think today is the beginning of the end. Not really the end, but the beginning of, the end of the uptrend, beginning of the downtrend. That's just my thought. Don't get me wrong. I do have some Kohls. It's one of my favorite stocks. What else do we have? Cincinnati, we just did Kohls. 1 times 1 is 2. No, King Bacon. 1 times 1 is 1. Sorry, 1 plus 1 is 2. But 1 times 1 is 1. Yes, Michael, or is it Michelle? Michael, Michelle, V, whatever. Unless you know how to mirror the screen on YouTube, I've heard it every single week for the last year. YouTube does not have that little doohickey to allow you to invert the screen. John, candles are voodoo. I set my buy and sells to random. All right, thank you there, John. The Battle of Plelanor Fields project. How about silver? I have never once seen an opportunity to get weekly cash flow from silver or gold. Okay, so I'm not buying commodities. Lewis, how are you today? Thank you for that, Lewis. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Lewis, but it's, you can speak your mind. All right, so what else do we have over here? Gabriel wants to take a look at Texas Instruments. Do you think tech is in a bubble right now and overbought? Our Toronto. Okay, so our Toronto, my opinion on the tech bubble is I didn't invest in the tech bubble. I only invest in companies that have a historical performance. And the tech bubble, well, that just recently came on board. Just recently. So, no, it's not offering something I'm looking for. okay? I'm looking for companies that are consistently profitable, and I can't find that in the tech bubble, so it's a no. In the 20 years of this strategy, what years was the worst performing and percentage? All right, Jake, I'm not quite sure you're going to understand this or not, but believe it or not, I really don't think about what I did before in the past. My concern is what's right in front of me and how can I best help those that are here. That's my major concern. What happened last year, the year before, the year before, and the year before, what good is that going to do me? You know, I average 1% a week. Okay, fine. Do I do that every single year? No, because some years are better than others. But on average, yeah, about 1%. Can we look at EOG? Okay. First, Gabriel would like to take a look at Texas Instruments. TXN. There we go. Now, Gabe, I'm going to zoom into the last 30 days because we saw this yesterday, and we said it's an opportunity for those who can see the opportunity. This gap down yesterday is going to fill eventually. So if you were seeing this big drop and you believe in bottom fishing, you could have picked that up yesterday, 164. Now it's at 174. Well, that's a nice little return for a day. Okay. So here's TXN. So yeah, I like 2 days to the upside before I jump into anything. And today was just one day. So we need some more time to go up before Texas Instruments is another jump in for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I already have some Texas Instruments, and I'm just going to ignore this little thing. It's just a minor blip. Now, if I had the opportunity, I'd dollar cost average because I like Texas Instruments. But there's nothing I can do about it today. Now, is there? All righty. The 172 is going for 283. So that's a little over 1.5%. All right, well, that works. Okay. So is there anything to do with that? I have no idea what that means. All right, I had to go back. Oh, wow, I missed all these questions. Oh, what positions did you open this week? The stocks I have received leaving from NASDAQ. Okay. ALK. What is ALK? Oh, we already looked at that one. Hi, Kate from Zoe. Oh, forgot to check that. Sorry. PLTR, looking at the chart. NUE. Do I broadcast? So is there anything to do with that? Okay, Mr. Kittles Lover. Oh, Skittles Lover. Mr. Skittles Lover. You got to explain that a little bit deeper. I'm not quite sure what you mean that. So you invest in real assets. I suppose you could say that. Can you comment on TSLY? Uh-oh. TSLY. TSLY. That is an ETF, and I don't do monthlies. I thought I already told you that. Okay? November, December, yeah. I don't do monthlies. They just don't work for me. Now, I'm looking for weekly cash flow, not monthly cash flow. What strategy do you use? I use dividend capturing combined with covered calls. Dividend capturing, covered calls, bring them together. There you go. JJ Jefferson, hey, what do you think of Mark Carney and how is his presence could influence? I have no idea who Mark Carney is. But I will say this, investors are ignoring serious danger. Okay, Ultrafire, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by serious danger. Sell-off wants to take a look at Costco. Do I ever sell at the money calls all the time? Okay, Gary, we already looked at Kohl's. Sell-off, Costco. Not sure why. Okay, now you actually have enough money to buy a $900 stock? I know I don't. I do, but No, I don't. If that makes sense. I mean, look at it. You got your bottom just a little while ago. Right? Here's your bottom right there. Shoots up, pulls back, shoots up again. What's going on today? Today it's pulling back a little bit. Is it? It's a little bit pricey for me. And Fufu wants to take a look at EOG. EOG. Ooh, now that actually looks good, Fufu. Take a look. You get your high of the year way up there. Then she drops, shoots back up, drops here. Look what's going on right there. That looks pretty darn cool. Well, let's zoom into it. Your last 30 days. There you go. Last 30 days. Fufu, check that out. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, 30 days ago, we're right here at 119. And then we dropped from 119 all the way down to 105. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 days going up. So 105, now we're at 109. Does that make sense? Well, look at it. Well, number one, do you like this company? That's a very important question. Either you like it or you don't like it. And then ask yourself, is it the right time to jump in? Well, now for me, you guys got to figure out what works for you. But for me, I love a 30-day high. Okay, I love that it drops down to a 30-day bottom. And now it's bouncing off the bottom, going to the upside. Well, great. The 109, which is right here, is right there, and it's selling for 125. Now, if you didn't know, 109, 125, well, that's more than 1%. Because 1% of 109 is 109. Isn't that weird? 1% of $109 is $1.09. 109, 109 is whatever. Anyway, so it's more than 1%. Okay, fine. Well, let's take a look and see if it makes sense to actually do that trade. Okay, so we haven't done one yet, so let's EOG be the first one. Okay, let's get out of there. Let's change this to covered calls. The 109's right there. One contract. There it is. And here is what it looks like and what it should sound like. By one covered call EOG. 100, which is the weeklies. 31 October 25. That is next Friday. Where did the month go? Next Friday is the 31st. Where did it go? The 109 call option against the stock at the market to open. That means we're doing two orders. We're doing a stock order that gets sent to New York. We're doing an option order that gets sent to Chicago. Chicago Board of Option Exchange, CBOE. That's in Chicago. Okay, Wall Street. That's in New York. Stocks, New York. Options, Chicago. Two orders. One trade, two orders. Now, the one thing I really, really like about covered calls, specifically covered calls with dividend stocks. Well, dividend stocks are usually very predictable and do the same things over and over and over again. That's why I like them. Because I know when the dividend's coming up, they have a tendency to go up in their value. And when they do that, I can jump in just for that little tiny window of a little sense of security. When the stock drops, finds a new bottom, turns around, starts going back up again, because that's all they do. They go up and they go down. That's it. They don't do anything else. So as it's going back up, coming off of a 30-day bottom, going back up again, well, I can jump in and jump out within 4 or 5 days, because Monday through Friday, I like to be in on a Monday, I like to be out on a Friday, capture that 1% every week. Well, that does add up to over 50% per year. 1% every week is 50% at the end of the year. Well, that works for me. All right, so this one here, when I say I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Okay, simple basically means it's one of the easiest strategies there is. You can't beat the easiest strategy, that's just buying the stock. But that's a problem with just buying the stock. You have to wait for it to move before you can make a profit. But with a covered call, you don't have to wait for it to move because I get paid whether the stock moves or not. So let me explain. Hold on. If I'm buying it at 108.62, okay, right there, 108.62, and I'm selling it for 109, I get a little bit of a profit between 108.62 and 109. What is it, 38 cents? Okay, not a lot, but 38 cents per share. So for every 100 shares I have, it's 38 bucks. So one contract, that would be an additional 38 bucks. Two contracts, that times 2, times 3, times 4, whatever. But here's the thing. If I'm buying it for this, selling it for that, I'm collecting this right here, and the stock doesn't even have to move. That's the beautiful part of it. If I'm buying it at 108.60 something, selling it at 109, I'm collecting a premium $227 per contract. And if it stays right where it is or goes a little bit higher, well, I get all my money back and I get to keep that profit. Well, that works for me. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. Now, remember where I said predictable? Okay, predictable. I know exactly what I'm going to make, pretty much exactly what I'm going to make before I even do the trade. Because this is called a premium, which is a part of an insurance policy. So that's basically what we're doing. We're buying and selling insurance policies. Now, for an insurance policy to be live and active or accurate, Luke, what do you got, Luke? Good evening. When trading options with short time frames, how do you decide whether to buy premium or sell premium? Oh, that's simple, Luke. Okay, 80% of all options expire worthless. So I don't want to be buying them. I want to be selling them. Because if I'm selling them, then 80% of the time, I'm going to be right. That's just kind of common sense. But, you know, it is what it is. All right. It's a good question, though. To find out my rate of return, I have to take the profit, okay, max profit, 220. Let me erase that. That's kind of messy. Okay, take the maximum profit, 227. And I take that and I divide it by my investment. Now that's going to give me my rate of return for the week. See, cost of trade, including commissions and fees, 10,673. So the only way to figure that out, bust out the old calculator. Well, let's crunch some numbers. Okay, so if my max profit is 227 and the investment is 10,673, okay, 10,673, that comes to a grand total of 2.1%. for 1 week. Remember that, 2.1% for 1 week. And if we all know 1% for the year, it's 52 weeks in the year, 1% every week, that's over 50% for the year. Now, if we're getting 2% every week, that's more than doubling your money every year. We've got a question over here on YouTube. Problem with buying and selling is you pay taxes. When I buy stock and sit for 10 years, I don't pay taxes until years later. Okay, John, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Really, really do. Okay, you're making the assumption that all of this is in my personal name. In that case, you would be true. You would be correct. But if I hold this in my corporation's name, aren't I paying corporate taxes? And what if, John, what if the corporation is in a state where there are no corporate taxes? Then let's kick it up one more notch. What if I live in a state and I run said corporation from a different state that has no personal taxes? What taxes am I paying then? And, let's kick it up one more notch. So the corporation owns the trading account and it trades and then it's taxed at a corporate level. But any losses incurred by the corporation can offset any profits. So if the corporation has, let's say, $500,000 in profits, and the corporation has $600,000 in losses, well, then the corporation's operating at a loss, and then I don't have to pay taxes. See, John, if you're really worried about taxes, that's kind of like the guy who goes to a Rolls-Royce dealer and said, "Hey, I like that Corniche. What kind of gas mileage does that baby get?" If you have to ask the gas mileage of a Rolls-Royce, you can't afford one. If you're concerned that getting 50% rate of return on your investments is going to put you into a new tax bracket, you're going to pay new taxes. Well, someone's been lying to you, number one. Okay, you really need to go talk to a tax strategist and say, "Hey, how can I avoid or how can I legally pay less in taxes?" And he's going to say, "Hey, grab a box of popcorn, a big old soda, and let's kick back, relax, have I got some stuff to tell you." But seriously, if you're worried about taxes, you're asking the wrong questions, dude. And you're definitely asking the wrong questions to the wrong person. See, there's hundreds upon hundreds of ways to legally avoid paying taxes, if that's a concern of yours. But shouldn't you have a better concern about how to safely invest your money and make a nice rate of return? Once you get there, well, then you need to find a way to keep more of your money. All right. What do we have next? We looked at EOG. La, 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 la. So, do you care if your shares get called? Absolutely not. Here's the thing, Brian. If I buy some shares tomorrow, okay, and I sell somebody the rights to buy them from me for almost the exact same price, and they give me a nice premium in order to do so, well, number one, I'm getting all my money back, and I'm getting my 1% profit, which is my original intention anyway. Okay, so what are you trying to do? And then when you figure out what it is you're trying to do, how do you set up your trading? How do you set up your accounts? How do you set up your life to best take advantage of what could be possible for you? Uh-oh. User 254222. Oh, no. Okay, he wants to take a look at Lululemon. Now, we could take a look at Lululemon, but what would be the point? I don't think they have dividends, and they certainly haven't been around for 20 years. That much I do know. But, like I said, you put one up there, I will take a look at it. So, Lululemon, you say. LULU. Interesting. What I do like, though, about Lululemon, other than nothing, but, if there is something, oops, I gotta fix that. Okay. You got your high of the year here. You got your bottom right there. Okay, she was there. Now she's here. She went up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. But okay. Well, does this company even have any dividends? No, it doesn't. But if you want to do that, that's good. Okay, Jason, if your stock has dropped in price and the strike price is well below your purchase price and you are now in the money, how quickly do you respond by rolling the option to not sell at a loss? Okay, so Jason, I have the opportunity, if I need it, to right-click over here. Okay, see behind me? To right-click on the chart, or left-click on the chart. No, I was right. Right-click on the chart. Right there is right there. And then I can create an alert. There it is right there. And all I have to do is put in whatever number I'm concerned about right there. And as soon as the stock hits it, I'm going to get an email and I'm going to get a text. And it's going to pop up on my computer. So it pops up on my computer, gets sent as an email, and it also goes sent as a text to my phone. So if I get all three of these signals and I do nothing about it, well, that's my own damn fault. But it's there if you want it and if you need it. Some people like alerts, some people don't. I think I said 2 of them in my life, and one of them was last week. All right, that being said, okay, so let's take a look at the last 30 days for Lululemon. Well, here you go. Here's your 30-day high 2 days ago. Your 30-day bottom right there. Here's where it was 30 days ago. Here's where it is now. She went up. She came down. She went up. Now she's coming back down again. That's just the way it's going. It's just 30-day bottom, 30-day top. Now she's coming back down again. Well, that's what happens when stocks go up. They also come back down. So that's going to be a no to Lululemon for this week. All right. He does not because he got his 1% or more. Thank you there, Fufu. Good evening. John, how are you today? Gabriel, I liked it better when your pen would make the mark and the screen disappear right or after. Okay, hold on. There we go. It goes like this, John. I like that one too. Anyway, thanks. What were you thinking? Yep, I hear the same thing. Okay, K-Van, A-N-F. What is that? A-N-F. A-N-F. Interesting. A-N-F. Okay, here's your high. Here's your low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down. Now, what's she doing? She's going up now. Okay, what do you have over here? What's going on? Fee, fi, fo, fum. I hear somebody making...
What the heck is going on? And then I showed your account and he's like, oh my
AMC.
gosh. You got anything worse?
Luke, how are you today?
No, I'm kidding.
When trading options with short time frames, do you decide whether to buy the premium or to sell premium? Yeah, we got that one. AMC. Okay, so let me think. Who do we have here making all that noise? It is Luke.
There's just some cleanup that we need to do.
Lucas.
Raise capital and then just decide what to do with the stocks we have right now.
All right, I'm going to mute it because I'm not quite sure he knew that everybody was listening to his conversation. Lucas, everybody was listening to your conversation. Okay, well, you're muted now, so don't worry about it. All right, let's do this. What other questions do we have? Make it happen, Miller. Hey, James, I was waiting for your call on Tuesday. I guess we'll reschedule. Okay, I'm a little lost. All right. Good evening. I got a new one for you. PAA, Big Brain, Plains All-American, huh? Ooh, Big Brain. I actually like this one better than that other one you keep asking me about. Okay, here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. Look at that. Right there. Bottom's there. Now she's shooting up. Great. Previous high. Nice. Big Brain. Nice. I like that. Now, what do the numbers look like? 1744. We'll be looking at the 18s, and that's going for 0. Sorry, big brain, even though it looks like it's jumping up there. Okay? Current price is 17.44. And these look absolutely horrible. Sorry, it happens. What were you thinking? Has had a good week. Hope you have a great night. I hope so too. Uh-oh. BD, energy transfer. Energy transfer is going to look basically the same thing as this. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, I don't like the premiums here. So when we buy a stock, or I should say, when I buy a stock, I like to immediately turn around and sell it to someone else for the same price I paid for it, and I like to collect this right here. That's the insurance premium. Well, because that's usually more than 1%. Well, in this instance, and there's a few stocks that are just like this, AGNC, Energy Transfer. What one did we just like? Plains All American? Yeah, a bunch of zeros. So if you're wrong the second and third time, no, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. KVAN, ANF. Didn't we look at ANF already? ANF. Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay. Nice. Look at this. Down here, bouncing, going back up again. Here's your top. Here's your bottom. Drops, back up, back down, back up, back down. Now right there. What's going on right there? 69, 61. The 70s are going for 145. That's 2%. That was quick, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Okay. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up. 69, 61. The closest one's going to be the 70. The 70's going for $1.45. $1.45 on a $70 stock. That's over 2%. 1% per week is 50% per year. 2% a week is more than 100% per year. That's doubling your money. It's a boring, I'm talking very boring. This is boring, slow, monotonous, tedious. It's the same stocks over and over and over and over again. But the thing is, with the same stocks over and over and over and over again, they're consistent, they're predictable, and they're profitable. Granted, it's not a huge profit that I'm looking for. 1% is not a whole heck of a lot if you think about it. But if I'm getting 1% every single week, well, that works for me. Okay, I'm just sharing the information with you, passing along the good word and see if it makes sense. Let's keep on keeping on. D King, thank you. Hercules VFC. Now, we looked at VFC earlier today. I don't quite remember what we came up with, but here's the thing. Hercules, check this out. Okay, here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. She jumps up, pulls back, jumps up again. Here's where we are, $15.89. The 16s are going for $1.01. Well, $16 is paying $1.01. So how many times does 16 go into 101? It's got to be at least 6. At least 6%. So let's try it out. Okay. So a year ago, we're at 1744. Now, the high of the year was at the end of January, and that was $29. By the second week of April, there's our bottom right there, $9.41. So the high, $28. The low, $9. Well, that's a big drop. That's like a 75% drop, isn't it? All right. So she shoots up, pulls back, shoots up, pulls back. Now she's shooting up again. Look at the last 30 days. Here's your last 30. Now you got to ask yourself a question. Okay, 30 days ago, we're at 1480. She drops, shoots up. Drops again, hitting the bottom at 13. Now she goes from 13 to 1580. That's the $2.80. $2.80. Almost $3. $2.80 on a $13 stock. $13 stock. Okay, that's over 25%. That right there. So yeah, a 25% profit. How much further do you think it's going to go up before all those people who realized, hey, I just made 25%. Now it's time to jump ship, take those profits and say, all right, where do we go this weekend, honey? Something like that. Don't get me wrong, I do like VFC and I do have some. Okay? What stocks should I cycle through weekly or bi-weekly? Be happy. You ready? Dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, and then, just for the fun of it, we're going to look at Warren Buffett's list. Okay? So those 5 lists right there should give you about 300 companies that are consistently profitable. Now, when I'm saying consistently profitable, I mean they make more money this year than they did last year. They made more money last year than they did the year before. And then so on and so on and so on. So 20 years, higher and higher and higher and higher profits, year after year after year. Well, to me, that makes sense. But that's me. You know, I'm just weird. I want my companies where I invest my money to be profitable for at least 2 decades. Now, I know it sounds strange, but hey, stock market's been around for 400 years. So why can't I have companies that are 20 years older and still making profits? That's just my criteria. Next, 7Weld7. Use a camera that doesn't flip everything backwards, please. All right, thank you. I'll keep that in mind. AWW, I just read how you taught your daughter to trade. Well, thank you about that, Lexi. Yes, when my daughter was 9 years old back in 2008, she said, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? So that started a journey that I wasn't prepared for. Okay? So for a 9-year-old, it had to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. So that being said, Lexi, those 5 criteria, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose, well, that comes with 5 rules. Here they come, Lexi. You ready? Here they come, all 5. Number 1, never buy something you do not want to hold on to for the rest of your life. If it's not worth investing your money into to hold for as long as you possibly can, well, then you probably shouldn't be buying it. It's weird that I have to actually say that. Never buy something you don't want to own. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the game. And if you're thinking of selling at a loss, well, you didn't really pay much attention to step number 1. Now, did you? All right, step number 3. Make sure the company is consistently profitable. Me personally, I like 2 decades, 20 years of profits. There's a bunch of them out there. Rule 4, weekly options only. Now, the name of the show is dividend investing for weekly cash flow. Hence the word dividend and weekly cash flow. Okay, I want to invest in dividend stocks and I want to collect weekly cash flow. The only way I can do that is something that trades on a weekly basis, where I do not have to sit in front of my computer all day. And that would be weekly options. So if it doesn't have a weekly option, no thank you. There's plenty of them out there. Plenty. There's over 10,300 different companies out there to choose from. Rule number 5, the last one. Make sure all the numbers work. What do I mean by that? What am I buying it for? What am I selling? What am I collecting? What does it all mean? What does it mean? What am I buying it for? Well, here, this stock here, the current price is $15.89. Okay, so if I'm buying it at $15.89, I'm going to turn around and sell it for $16 right there. Okay, what am I buying it for? $15.89. What am I selling? I'm selling the 16s. What am I collecting? Roll 3. What am I collecting? 101. Where's it at now? $15.89. Which direction is it going? And what should I do? Well, it's definitely going up. What should I do? Should I jump on and do it? Or should I say, you know what? This is at a high. I think it's going to start coming down next. It depends. Now, I don't buy anything at the high. Okay, that is a 30-day high. 30-day bottom, 30-day high. It is what it is. All right, let's do something next. What are we doing next? Alrighty. Use the camera, thank you. Lexi, oh, I just read that. Thank you there, Lexi. Looking for ideas. Have we looked at Kenvue? Kenvue. Have we looked at Kenvue? K-V-U-E. Kenvue. Interesting. Who asked for that one? Looking for ideas. Kenvue. All right. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's definitely an upward trend. The bottom of the year is right there. So what's happening? What's happening at the bottom of the year? Okay, 30 days ago, we're here. She drops back up, back down. Now she's going up again. Well, there it is right there. It's at 1509. The 15s are going for 48. That's over 3%. Well, let's see what that one looks like. If, of course, you like Kenvue. Well, let's find out. Let's find out. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's change this to covered calls. Let's go take a look at the 15 right there. Just one of them right there and at the market. And here's Johnny. Here we go. Let's check this out. Buy one covered call, Kenvue 100. That's the weeklies. 31 October. That's this coming Friday. Not tomorrow. It's next Friday. Sorry, I got to prove that I'm a real person. I'm a real boy. Yes, I got to do that for over there. Every once in a while, these little puzzles come up and you have to drag the puzzle piece in saying, I'm a real boy. Okay, anyway, besides the point. Here it is. Kenvue 100. There we go. 31 October. That's next Friday. The $15 call option at the market to open. Here's the profit, $45. Here's the investment, $145. Let's see what kind of number that is. Okay, calculator. The max profit of $45.50, and we divide it by the investment. It's $14.55, $1,455 for one contract. Now remember, when you're buying a contract, it's kind of like buying, think of it this way. It's kind of like buying a vending machine, a candy machine, soda machine, snacks, whatever you want to call it, a vending machine. Okay? So this vending machine is costing me $1,400. The nice thing about vending machines is you can get cash flow every single week, but you got to go take care of it, which means you got to go fill it up. You got to go empty out all the cash. Okay. I agree. You should flip horizontally. Thank you. Oh, another puzzle piece. Yes, I'm a real boy. There we go, right there. All right. What was I saying? Anyway, take a look at this one. Okay. Max profit 450. No, sorry, 45. Okay, and it's costing 1,400. Well, it's a 3.1 return. 3.1% for 1 week. If, you like Kenvue. It always comes down to that last phrase. If you like the company. Think about it. Do you like the company? CAG taking into consideration EX date. Rex, hold on. Hold that thought, Rex. Okay, so that's Kenvue. I'm going to write Kenvue down for next week. That's a nice number. Kenvue. No, wait a minute. That baby's going to drop. 3%. All right. We already did VFC. We already did that. We already did that. Get one more question. One more question over here. Oh. T-Mac. The popping sound is pretty bad tonight, at least on YouTube channel with the chart. Not happening on Zoom. or other YouTube channel, if it helps figure out where, you know, it sounds like it's coming from the mouse, because if I don't move, if I don't move anything, my hands are up here, is the popping sound still working? I mean, is it still popping and crackling? I can't hear what he's saying. That didn't make any sense. But was it making noise? Okay, so it's not making noise. No popping sound here. Yeah, see, there where I'm pointing at now, that's on an iPhone. Okay, so what I'm going to do now for you guys over there is I'm going to start moving the mouse around and tell me if that crackling noise is happening. Is it happening now? What? So, see, now I hear all that noise in the background, but I have no idea who's talking. So just moving the mouse around, that's the crackling noise. Is that what it is? No? Nobody? All right.
Yeah, James, I don't hear a crackling sound.
Okay, well, someone said it's coming through YouTube. So it's hard for me to figure out where it was, because I got like 4 or 5 microphones and I got 9 cameras and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So finding out exactly what it is, I have no idea. Guess we'll just have to figure it out. All right. Next question. Energy transfer we looked at. What stocks should I cycle through on weekly care? We already talked about that. How much do I need to do this full time? All right, so be happy to do this full time. It's really going to depend on what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Now, it took me 30 years. 30. Did you hear what I'm going to say it again. It took me 30 years to get to here. Okay? Okay, so for me to sit here and to be able to make a comfortable living with what I got, it took me 30 years to get here. Okay, I have no idea how old you are. Okay, so we all, at some point in time, you know, we go to high school, we go to elementary school, we go to high school, we either go to college or we go whatever. But from the time you get out of high school until the time you retire, that's a good 40, 50 years. So how much money are you putting away for yourself? And when you get there, what do you plan on doing with it? Gary Host 2 wants to take a look at Macy's. Okay, Travis, his screen is still backwards. How incompetent. Thank you there, Travis. Yes, I can't believe his screen is still backwards. Plus, he's a terrible trader and lies a lot. Awesome. Yes, I know. I have seen that a lot. Okay. Thank you there, Mr. Travis. I appreciate that. And he says I'm a bad trader. Oh, I almost feel bad. That's okay, Travis. If you have anything else to say, Travis, just, let me have it. Why not? All right, so what we just looked at, K-View. All right, let's go take a look at Macy's. Who wants to take a look at Macy's? Gary. Gary wants to take a look at Macy's. Macy's. All right. Macy's. Interesting. Another new high today. Mares. Okay. You've seen a lot of that. Yes. Yeah, I know. I've seen that a lot. I have no idea. No idea what Mr. Travis. I feel Mr. Travis is unhappy that he's spending his evening with someone who's incompetent. Sorry about that, Travis. All right, so let's take a gander at Macy's real quick. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. She shot up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. She's in new territory at the moment. Hasn't been here all year. Don't get me wrong. I have some Macy's, but I got Macy's on the wrong side. Okay, we got a new high right there. That's the high of the year. So what the hell are we supposed to do with that? What were you thinking? Yeah, exactly. La 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 la. Where were we? Mr. Unemployed, how are you today? All right. Big Brain says, have a good night. Have a good night, Big Brain. Thank you for stopping by. C-wide spinning. Okay, now C-wide spinning thinks it's funny that 1 times 1 is 2. Unfortunately, C-wide spinner, it's not. 1 times 1 is only 1. Gary, EC. Okay, Travis. His screen is still backwards. Bad owner manager. Whoa. Simple fix. Shows he can't solve simple problems. Now, you see, Travis, I would love to agree with you. Really would. Now, this is a hobby. This is not a profession for me. And number one, I've been on YouTube for almost 20 years. And not once has anyone ever showed me what button to press to invert the camera on YouTube. Now, TikTok, that's easy. They got a button to invert the camera. They don't have one on YouTube. Terribly sorry, dude. What about Target? Well, let's take a look at Target. Okay, 7 weld 7. Yeah, even the simplest little common sense concept you share can help a lot of people. I comment on your work. Haters just mean you are succeeding. They are everywhere and unavoidable. We just tolerate them. You know, I'm going to agree with you 100%. And I'm going to go one better. You ready? If you don't have enough haters, that means you're not doing a good enough job. That means I got to step it up because I only got 1 hater tonight. I need more than 1. The popping sound is pretty bad tonight. All right, so we already got that question, but we didn't get it fixed. All right. So Mirez wants to take a look at Target. See, we're going to pass on Macy's only because Macy's at the high of the year. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Macy's. I actually have some. But here's the thing. Jumping in now at the high of the year, I don't do that. All right. A new investor, what platform do you use to trade on? I trade on Thinkorswim, which is through Charles Schwab, and also on Robinhood. But, you know, you got to figure out what is right for you. Okay, what do we have over here? Jellyfish, gold daily options. Okay, that sounds like a lot of effort. Really? Daily option. Yeah, no thank you. Is it the right time to buy Verizon? Now, don't get me wrong. I love Verizon, I do. But take a look at this. Okay, this is about a month ago. Now she's just dropping. New bottom today. If you really like Verizon, just give it another day or two because it could go lower tomorrow. You just don't know. But if tomorrow she opens up higher, then maybe think about jumping in because this is the bottom at the moment and you can't get any lower than the bottom right there. If you really like it, that is. So let's keep on keeping on. All right, scratch A&F, no dividends, thank you. K-Van does have a good calls, though. Yeah, it does. Kane Adams, would Micron, MU, be a good one to review? Boise, Idaho, woohoo, pays dividends over 20. Okay, so let's take a look. Micron, MU. Why are we looking at this? Seriously. Okay. The high of the year right there. She pulled back. Now she's going back up again. Okay, I don't buy anything at the high of the year. It just doesn't make sense. Because once the stock goes up, well, at some point, it's going to come back down again. Hershey looks good. Check for the next 2 weeks. HSY. Not necessarily so. You got to find the bottom first. Okay, 30 days ago we're here, we drop, shoot up, back down. Here's today, right there, new bottom. Well, what if she's lower tomorrow? What if she's lower Monday? What if she's lower Tuesday? See, I wait to find the bottom, like right here. There's the bottom, 1 day, 2 day, 3rd day I jump in. See, I look for the bottom, 2 days up, 1, 2, and then on the 3rd day I would jump in. See, I would miss all of that. Well, because I'm not very good at picking bottoms. But when the bottom shows up, And you have the next day, it's kind of confirmation. 2 days, well, for me, that's real confirmation. And then on the third day, that's when I trigger and I jump in. So here's your bottom, 1 day, 2 day, that's where I would have jumped in. Bottom here, I'm waiting for my 2 days to the upside. And on the third day, I'll jump into Hershey's. So I'm going to write Hershey's down for next week because that bottom's going to show up. Going to show up. All right. All right. Travis, you need someone to show you. Absolutely, Travis. How about you figure it out? Thank you, Travis. You're supposed to be the boss, not the employee making excuses. Thank you, Travis. It's always nice to have someone telling me what I'm doing wrong. And I'm okay with it. But you know what they say? If you're going to bitch, moan, and complain, at least come up with an answer. Don't just point out the obvious. Oh, that's backwards. Well, yeah, I know it's backwards. But you pointing it out doesn't make you any smarter than me because you didn't say, hey, that's backwards. Try pressing this button and that will fix it. No, you didn't say that. You just come out here and insult people. Whatever. Here's Alex. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Carnitas. Okay. I'm bag holding K-View. Thank you there, K-Van. Am I a day trader? No, I'm not. So you said you have Macy's. Will you only say in the money calls so you can get your shares sold? Not always. Sometimes I just roll them forward and hold on to them, depending. See, every position I have, I take a look at what did I buy it for? What strike price did I sell? Where is it at now? Where does it look like it's going? And what's the best trade or what's the best opportunity for me to reach my goals? Well, my goals is a safe, predictable income every week. That's my goal. Yeah, I'm not looking to hold on to anything. I just want that cash flow. That's it. Real deal. I think he forgot Target. Yeah, I think I did. TGT. Target. There we go. Ooh, nice. Look at that right there. Okay, here's your high. Big drop. Okay, she drops down, shoots up, back down again. Now she's going back up. Okay, well, it's definitely in an upward trend. Well, let's take a closer look. Okay, hold on, Travis. Somebody has a little bit of input for you. What's this Travis guy's problem? He has nothing better to do? I don't know. Maybe he has nothing better to do. Okay, S gross. We'll take a look at TSS. Fair enough, but if viewers are viewing and we are supposed to be critiques, and when we do, you have excuses instead of answers. Again, you are the boss. Don't blame viewers for not solving your problems. Thank you there, Travis. I appreciate the what do you call it? Constructive criticism. Mike B, Target with huge management layoffs. Big news today. Would hold off on Target, might have a better buying point next week. Nice. I like that, Mike. Thanks. Let's take a gander at it, though, and see what it looks like to see maybe if we have something else we need to see here. Okay, so we get the high here, low here. She's shooting up there. Okay, look at the last 30 days. Okay, here's your last 30 days for Target. And you already know how I feel about 30-day highs. Shoots up, pulls back. Now you have a new high right there. So I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't jump in because I jump in down here. See, here's the bottom, 2 days the upside on the third day. That's where I would be. Okay, I'm not going to give you no BS of this crap down here. No, I won't do that because I'm just too damn old to remember all the lies, so I just keep telling the truth. If I was going to jump in, here's the bottom. 1 day up, 2 days up. Here's the third day. That's where I would have jumped in there. That's my rule. 2 days up. On the third day, I will jump in if it's continuing. But that's me. You got to figure out what works for you. Okay, we're all on a different journey. We all have to figure out what works best for me. Okay? All right, so somebody wants to take a look at TSLL. TSLL. Interesting. We got the high, we got our low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, sideways, up, sideways. What's going on here? 2101. Well, 2101 next week is going for 132. That's over 5%. I'm kind of interested on this, but you got to ask yourself that question. Do I like TSLL? TSLL. All right, anyway, last 30 days. There we are. Okay, we shoot up, pull back. Shoot up, pull back. What's this right here? Okay, that's a big move today. Now, I already own some TSLL, so it's not that big a deal for me. Anyway, but here's your bottom here, and she's shooting up this way. Okay, you get a little high there, pulls back, bouncing off of that, and she's going up. Do you like TSLL? That's it. Well, let's check out the numbers, because I like this one. The 21s, let's get out of there. Let's go to here. Let's go to covered call. Let's do the 21 right there. One contract at 21. Here's Johnny. Here we go. Buy one covered call, TSLL. 31 October. That's next Friday. The $21 call option at the market to open. Profit 160. Investment 1900. Let's see the numbers. Show me the money. Show me the money. All right. Anyway, 160. 160 divided by 1940. 1940 comes to a grand total of 8.2. Holy cow, 8.2. If you like TSLL. Wow. You don't see that very often. 8.2% if you like TSLL. And that's just for 1 week. Think about it. That's just for 1 week. So if I buy the stock tomorrow morning, okay, and I can get it at 2101 current price, and I sell it for 21, well, this is what the order should read, and that's the profit, and that's my investment, and it's 8.2% for 1 week. All right, that works. AMDY. Ariel wants to take a look at AMDY. Back to the beginning. AMDY. No, who said that one? Okay, Aria. November, December, January. Those are monthlies. Now, the interesting thing about monthlies is you can only do them once a month. So if I'm collecting 1 to 2% with each option trade, once a month means at the end of the year, 12 to 24%. Now, don't get me wrong, that could be respectable on a monthly scale. But if I'm getting 1 to 2% every single week, why the heck would I even bother with a monthly? I don't do monthlies. The numbers is just terrible. Yeah, presentation is awesome. Oh, wait, never mind. It's absolutely horrific. Thank you there, Travis. It's very nice of you. I'm impressed with the presentation skills, right or wrong. Thank you there, David. Mike B, thanks for the info. Okay. Chart hustle. Do not respond to everything. Not everyone comes to school to learn. Some just are a nuisance. You know what, Chart Hustle? I think I might agree with you. You're a trooper, Travis. The world needs more of you. Mike B. Okay, look at NBIS to hit 130 within 2 weeks. Not a guarantee, but if market stays bullish, it's solid. CRWV volatile, tough to time, bounces back and forth randomly. Okay, so which one are we looking at? NBIS, NBIS, NBIS. Nubious Group. Interesting. Okay, well, let's take a gander. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Up, down, up, down. What's going on here? It looks like she's turning at the 106. Okay. Now, before me personally, I would jump into this thing. I would want to know what makes this company so wonderful that we're thinking it's changing from a $10 to $20 range all the way up to a $100 and $140 range. What's the reasoning for the big jump from here to here? And can it sustain it? Or is this just a fluke? Think about it. How often has this company been in this area up here? Because for the last 6 months, it's down in this area. I don't know. Could be. Terry Smith, how are you today? Good to see you. Thank you very much. Little Monk, back again. Thank you. You got to find, yeah, thank you for that. Daily Fitness, good evening. If you have time, can we take a look at, Cargill. Let's take a look at that one. Conagra. Oh, sorry, Conagra. All right, so Conagra, a year ago, went $30. Then we drop way down to here. She's just going sideways between, what is that, 19 and 18 for the last 4 months, just going sideways. But it is definitely a little downward angle. Look at that. Okay, down, up, down, up, down. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Now here, now she's coming back down again. Not this week, brother. Sorry. Look at your last 30. Okay, down, up, down, up. Now she's coming back down again. Not this week. Sorry. How did you do with Ford this week? I made money on Ford. She went up. Okay. The market maker's not offering enough for me to hold on to it for longer, so I'm just going to let it go. And then maybe, 2 or 3 weeks I'll buy it again? Who knows? I hope Travis feels better about himself now. Help me, CP, how are you today? I'm going to head out, have a good weekend, and see you Sunday, Monday. Okay, Fufu, have a nice night. Thoughts on Ford for Monday? Uh-oh. All right, Alex, let's take a look at Ford. Okay, we saw this coming a couple of days ago, and I'm surprised you haven't seen it, but let's take a look. Okay, here's the high. Here's your low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. Now she's coming back down right there. Let's zoom into that so you can see it a little closer. Okay, 30 days ago, right here. Shoots up, there's your high. Here's your profit taking right there. Shoots up, here's your profit taking right there. Profit taking already started. I mean, mine's going away. So I think I'm into mine at 12. She jumped up. So as she pumped back, because I think it's going to be above 12 by tomorrow. And then mine's going bye-bye. Thanks. You're welcome. Penny, MSTR. MSTR. Strategy. Never heard of them. But okay. Take a look. Here's your top. Here's your bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Up, down, up, down. Nope. Doesn't really look that pleasant right about now. Looks like she's trying to find a new bottom. Okay, here's your 30-day high, 30-day bottom, back up, back down. Here's your new bottom here. Today's 1 day to the upside, if you like this company. So what is it? Okay, here, down. Now she's going back up. Is it? Bottom was yesterday. Today's just 1 day. 1 day to the upside. I like 2, and then on the 3rd day I jump in. That's me. MB, look at Nubious, where did that. David, the trooper, yeah, thank you there. Chart Hustle, do not respond, thank you. Imran, Mike B, thank you for the info. David Wade, I'm impressed with the presentation skills, right or wrong. Thank you. Yeah, presentation, awesome. Yeah, whatever. Travis, you need to flip your video horizontal, brother. I don't think it works that way. You know, because I think, hold on, let me do it this way. Horizontal. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Nope, ain't going horizontal. And there aren't any buttons to flip it to mirror the image. Okay? If there was, I'd do it. Okay, Joey, we already looked at Texas Instruments. Looks like it went up. Oh, wait, his screen is backwards, but he doesn't think it's a problem. No, Travis, it's not a problem for me. Hey, Bobby boy, hi from London. How are you today? I think Mike's suggestion will fix your mirror issue. Okay, what is Mike's suggestion? Camera setting to mirror. Okay, Mike, terribly sorry, camera setting doesn't have to mirror. All right, hold on, let's give it a try. Hold on, see if he's right. Mirror front camera. Didn't work. Sorry. See, I went to the settings, I hit the mirror button, and still, it's backwards. So you think I haven't tried everything that, normally you would try, but still coming out backwards. Well, there it is. He says he doesn't care what the viewers see because it doesn't affect him. Yep, I just got here. Camera still, yep. Camera setting to mirror, I already did that. All right. Appreciate the content. Have a good weekend. Thank you there, Joey. Alrighty. What do we got over here? Alex, Chad Smith, no. Been using this strategy for about 3 weeks now. Been getting 1% and 2% a week. Ready to go, Alex. Chad, hey guys, I am a general creator on all trading. I guide people who are new and confused. Message me now. Alex, oh, come on, Alex. Why do you want to do that? Nico, I'm doing fine. Thank you, Nico. Next, Mike, watch on other streams if backwards bothers you. Mike, that actually makes sense. It really does. I mean, there's 9 different channels. And YouTube is backwards, but there's not that the 8 other ones, and you choose to stay on YouTube. Well, that's a you thing, because I tried almost every single suggestion people have given me to reverse that mirror image, and not one of them has actually worked. It's not as if I don't want to have it correct, but nobody's giving me the answer yet. And even the answers I find online still don't work. So, not that I haven't tried. Okay, so let's keep on doing this. How do you do with Ford this week? I did fine. Daily fitness motivation. What's your TikTok? What's your YouTube? The 10MinuteTrader. I create change, and after it's fixed faster since rose a stunk, I will still be the bad guy I'm not. You do realize that makes no sense. But okay, Chan, don't be helpless. I'm not helpless. Okay? Seriously. Travis, solution, call Google. Keep escalation till it's fixed. Thank you later. All right. Call Google. I never even knew you could just pick up the phone and call Google. Anyway. What are the options you plan on doing for tomorrow or next week? Hard Sheep, how are you today? Now, Hard Sheep, you're relatively new here because I would have remembered that name. Take a look at this for a second. All right. Okay. So, Hard Sheep, are you ready? This behind me right here is what is called an EX dividend calendar. Now, why am I having an EX dividend calendar? Well, I do everything by numbers, so to speak. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, do this first, then do this, that type scenario, okay? So very first thing I always do is, number 1, create a list. When I say never buy something that's not on your list, well, you should figure out what list you should create. Fine. Find a company that you like. Great. Make a list of all the ones that you like. For me, specifically, Dividend Kings. They have 5 decades of increased profits. That's 50 years of increased profits. And then you get the Dividend Aristocrats. Now, these companies have been consistently profitable for at least a quarter of a century, 25 years. All right, hold on. Mr. Travis has something else witty to say. You got Mike Scott's voice. Appreciate. Thank you there, Bobby boy. All right. Yeah, how do you think folks do business? Pick up the phone and make impossible phone calls. You work. Okay. Well, I'm not sure I'd spell wood with a K, but all right. Be surprised if you actually try to stop thinking stuff is impossible. Oh, wow. Whoa. All right, thank you. The one mirror issue. Are you using a phone front camera or a webcam? I'm using a phone front camera. And yes, on the phone, you can go to the settings to the camera and it says mirror image on front camera. Yeah, I already did that. Doesn't work. Oh, Alfia says I'm stupid. Bummer. Are you Tony Hawk's dad? Yeah, that works. Okay, anyway, what do we back up here for? What are the options you plan? Okay, so as I was saying, wait a second. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions. 25 years of increased profits also. Same as the Aristocrats, but a little bit less rules and twice as many members. Okay, after that we have the Dividend Contenders. Now, Dividend Contenders have anywhere between 10 and 24 years of increased profit. They didn't quite make that prestigious list, but they're getting close. And for the last and final list is going to be Warren Buffett's list. Because if it's good enough for Warren, I think I'll take a look. But I take all the stocks that I like and I put them into the calendar. Now, the reason I put them into the calendar because the calendar breaks it up by the week by week by week. Okay, there's 52 weeks in a year. Great. 266 trading days. Well, each week, or I should say, each quarter, first quarter, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Each quarter has 13 weeks. So my list of stocks is about 300. About 300. And all 300 need to pay their dividend within a 90-day time frame. The first of the quarter to the last day of the quarter. It's only 13 weeks. So 13 weeks for 300 companies to pay a dividend. Okay, that's what this is for. Each one of these little dots represents a company that has consistently been profitable. See, Jack Jackson says you can't tell Google, you can't call Google. I believe that. Use the phone back camera, that should fix it. Yeah, it should fix it. You know what else it's going to do? It's not going to give me any of the questions. So, do I want to interact with the public, which means answering the questions, using the front camera, which cannot mirror? Or do I want to have the screen proper and not have you ask any questions? Can't have it both ways. AI says you need to use a third-party app, Streamlabs, to mirror the screen for YouTube. Thank you, K-Van. Name on the calendar. I'm a mini beast. The calendar is called an EX dividend calendar. Okay? Thank you then, Nico. So you can go to YouTube, you can go to Bing, whatever search engine you use, and just look EX dividend calendar, and a whole bunch of them will show up. This one here is actually attached to the trading platform, which is Thinkorswim through Charles Schwab. Okay? Could you share your list of these companies? Okay, Ari, I just told you, Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, and Warren Buffett's list. Now, you said Streamlabs, so I'm going to write Streamlabs down. I'll give it a check, see what it says. All right. So, it's not funny to laugh at making the calls. Not quite sure about that. Just tell me what to buy, my guy. I'm not quite sure I can do that. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. I will never forget. Well, I have no idea what that means. No one. No one can tell you what to buy or sell. You have to decide for yourself. Thank you, the one. When about 20 years ago, applied for scholarship, sent in a bunch of BS. I was waking up to the steps 3 times for $1,000 scholarship, more than most in the Guinness, because I just made the calls. Okay. You need a second screen for comments. Yeah, well, see, Jonathan, all right, let me give you a rough idea of what I'm looking at here. Okay, just give me 1 second. All right. Camera and get another screen just for you, just for that one YouTube. So now I have, I got a camera and then I got a screen. That's 2. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cameras. Okay, 9 cameras. And you want me to add another one because some people can't understand what up down means, and okay, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. All right, the one. You have to use 2 devices and unfortunately one stream and the other to read the messages on the screen. Good content. Thank you, one. If you Google Dividend Aristocrats and follow the search, it will give you all the companies on the list. Yeah, we're right. I'm getting a headache because I have to look at the phone in the mirror to see his charts and back. Okay, thank you there. Oh, back to the phone and read the comments. Up, down, up, down. Thank you, Chan. Everything's backwards, bro. Oh my God, another one. Elias, thank you. You know, I'm getting to the point where I don't even want to read the comments on YouTube anymore. Okay. A cup forming. Thank you there, Shen. Jen. Beer Money Cattle Company. GENM. GENM. I never even heard of them. GEMN. And M. Okay. GENM. It has no options. Okay, Beer Money Cattle Company. This thing has no options, so why are we looking at this thing? Okay, I weekly options only. Thank you. Well, back to the phone, read comments. Okay, Travis, you're so smart, you should not even be here. Hey, thank you there, David. The critiques are many tonight. Yes, they are. What do I think about SoFi? SoFi doesn't have dividends, SOFI. And look at where it is, way up here. Okay, 28. The 28 is going for 185. What is that? 4, 5%, something like that, if you like SoFi. But SoFi doesn't have dividends. So how do you know? See, the reason I use dividend, let's go back to the calendar for a second, because I don't think you guys really understand why I use the calendar. Okay. The reason I like the calendar is because the calendar tells me when the stock is going to pay its dividend. Okay, there's 4 dates to remember with every dividend stock. Well, first of all, there's over 10,000 different companies to choose from. Half of those companies have dividends, and the other half are what's called capital appreciation stocks. So you have income stocks, and you have capital appreciation stocks. So what is it that you're looking for? Well, you know what I want. I want cash flow. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. That's what I want. Dave Wade, funny how they think I'm being mean. They would all be fired, not working for me. My hands need to listen and learn. Oh, there you go. Thank you there, Travis. Guys, there are many other YouTube channels to watch live tonight. If this channel is so annoying to you, move on to another one. Thank you, Chart Hustle. I'm just agreeing with everybody. You guys get the right to be complaining. You get the right to do whatever you want to do. Okay? Now, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. It's actually that simple. To stop interrupting other people's desire to learn. Just show some courtesy. Okay? Recordings this week. Okay. What do we have? Okay, get that one, get that one, get that one. GENM. All right. So the reason why I'm looking at stocks that have dividends is because they are predictable. They do the same thing every 90 days. And just before the EX date, that's what these little green dots are. There's 4 dates to remember. The first date is called the announcement date. That's when the company says, hey, this is how much money we made, and this is how you are going to get yours. That's it, just the announcement date. That's number 1. Number 2 is called the EX dividend date. That's the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid out. So if you want to collect the dividend, you got to buy it before one of these little green dots. Okay? Third date is called the date of record. Whoever owns the stock on the date of record is entitled to the dividend. Date number 4. That's the payment date. That's just when you're going to get your money. That's all. So why is it important? Because the EX dividend date is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid. So there are a lot of people out there that want to actually just collect the dividends. It's called dividend capturing. It's one of the oldest trading strategies there is. You buy the stock, you get the dividend, and you sell. That's it. Buy the stock, get the dividend, then sell for profit. It's pretty easy. But what we're doing is we're using the calendar to tell us when the stock is coming up for consideration with the dividend. And then we buy it before the dividend date because stocks have a tendency to increase in value just before the dividend. So if we know when the stock's going up, well, great. Now we need a strategy to jump in, take advantage of that, and then jump back out again. Well, the trading strategy I created for my 9-year-old, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, well, that's what I'm teaching you guys. I'm actually giving it to you for free. All you have to do is just pay attention. All right. Lizzie wants to take a look at Mickey D's. Let's go take a look at Mickey D's. MCD, Mickey D's. Interesting. Okay, unfortunately, Lizzie, do you see what happened? Take a look at this. Okay, here's your 30-day bottom right there. This baby shoots up, and today she starts pulling back. Okay, I'd find out what's going on with today because she went from 292, shot up to 312. That's $20. Is that 20? Yeah, that's a $20 increase. So yeah, they're probably going to take profits. Nico, James, every time I add a stock in my watch list, how can I get it into the calendar file? Nico, that's a great question. Anytime you add a stock, Nico, right, you want to go right up to here where it says watch list, and right next to the watch list, there's a little tab right there. You click on that tab and you go to personal, okay? This will be all your personal lists that you make. Okay, and if you need to create a new one, you come down to where it says create list. And then you create your own watch list right there. You add the symbols one at a time, or you can import a list. And then you hit save. And when you do that, you give it a nice fancy little name like Dave's Stocks for Today. And then you come on, whoops, get out of there. Come over to Market Watch. Okay, Market Watch is right up here. Okay, right up there. And then you click onto this little sunshine right there. And that little ray of sunshine will open up a window right there. And this window here, you pick personal, and that's your personal list right there. Okay, these are all my personal lists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And then you just click on it, and boom, there it is. Alex, I noticed Kohl's has been trading sideways. Yes, it has. Look at Gush. What the heck is Gush? Gush. Hell no. Who came up with Gush? November, December, January, March. I don't do monthlies. They just don't work. Sorry. Alrighty. Alrighty. Oh, that's done. All right, here we go. Keith. TikTok. Display is good. Dividend stock talk display is good. Thank you. Display only reversed on YouTube. Yeah, I'm aware of that. You have 40 watchers on the 10-minute trader, 12 watchers of Dividend stock talk, and 74 on TikTok. Yeah, well, I got 3 YouTube channels, 2 TikTok channels, one Instagram channel, one X channel, one Zoom channel, one LinkedIn, and one Twitch. So it's like 9 altogether. Yeah, anywhere between, let me think, 5,000 and 30,000 people will come through every night. So just read, keep on going. Nico, so I have kept making new watch list name instead of using the same name. Okay. Would you ever capture a monthly near the end of the month? No. The reason being, Alex, if you're wrong, even by a tiny bit, you have to hold it for the next 30 days or take the loss. So I don't do monthlies at all. I just stay away from them. It's just not worth my time. Travis, look, dude, listen to what I'm saying. This is a huge problem with YouTube reverse screen. Stop telling yourself it's impossible. I didn't say it was impossible. I said the answer's out there somewhere. I just haven't found it yet. Other posters have the same issue. Make the calls, solve it in a day to a week. Yep, not a problem. Thanks you, Travis. I'll keep an eye on that. All right, so what else do we have here? Holy cow, we got 5 minutes left. Chad, that's connected with the 3M. Wait a minute, the Web3 network, avoid potential loss. I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Chad, but okay. What platform are you using? Hardsheep, that is called Think or Swim, and that is owned by Charles Schwab. Chuck Daily Grind, thank you. Be happy. How much would I need to make full-time living from this? So be happy, it's going to be 100 dependent upon your spending. What do you, now, hypothetically speaking, only adults are supposed to be here, okay? Under age 18 and under, you're not supposed to be here. Supposed to be. So my assumption, if you're over the age of 18, well, you're going to find out pretty darn quick, okay, what your monthly obligations are. What are you paying for your car? What are you paying for your insurance? What are you paying for your groceries? What are you paying for your rent, your mortgage, or whatever? All your bills on a monthly basis, what are they? That's what you need to know first. Once you know that first, you work the equation backwards. If you need $5,000 a month in order to live comfortably, what amount of money do you need to invest in order to attain that $5,000 a month? Keith, what am I saying? Well, what I am saying is trying to help the camera on the 10-minute trader is reversed. I get that. The camera on Dividend stock talk is good. Yeah, I got that. Both on YouTube. One is going through OBS. Okay? So I got 3 YouTube channels. Okay. One is the camera, which is you're on right now. One down there is going through OBS open broadcasting. Okay, that's working out fine. The one over there, that's backwards also. So I got 3 YouTube channels. One is correct. The other 2 are incorrect. One is going rerouted through a third party, OBS, and the other one is directly right from the phone. So yeah, I understand how it works, and I understand there are opportunities and ways of fixing it. It's just that what's the highest on my list of priorities? So I have to keep making new watch list name instead of using the same. No, You can add to your watch list. You can subtract from the watch list. Sorry, that was not worded right. I want to keep adding to the same watch list. Yeah, you just go over to here. Okay. You come over to here, right? On the watch list, the very next one over. You scroll all the way down and you come to edit. Then you can edit whichever list you want to edit. Add to it, subtract from it. Everything's right there that you need. Have a good weekend. See you Sunday. All right, K-Van. Sorry. Word of cricket, whatever. Travis, don't keep your eye on it. Do it yourself. Make the call. Yeah, I get it. With many millions of views on that alone. Thank you there, Travis. Julie, how can I trade? Keep coming back. Keep asking questions. I'm here every night. What I'm saying, thank you. Just ask, Julie, ask a better question. Thank you there, Travis. Does day trading forex work? Be honest. Okay, any trading platform or any trading strategy does work until it doesn't. Sorry, everything works until it doesn't. Because there's always extenuating circumstances from some reason or another. Now, my suggestion is figure out what you want first. Figure out how much time you have to actually contribute to it, to get proficient in it. And then ask yourself, is it really something that you want to do? Because when you get to my age, you get two choices and only two. One, learn to do it yourself. Or two, give up accountability and give it to someone else to do for you. Okay, I'm a big supporter on learn to do it yourself because no one is going to give you the amount of nobody's going to give you your money, the amount of attention that you would, because no one has more interest in your money than you do. So, just keep showing up. Just keep asking questions. Find something that makes sense to you because there's so many different trading strategies out there. Okay, the one that I'm teaching or giving away here was created for my 9-year-old daughter when she was 9. She said, Daddy, can you teach me? Okay, fine. So simple, safe, predictable, consistent was what she needed. Now, it just so happens to work so well, I do the same thing. XRP is done. So is crypto. Okay. All right, Keza. Thank you for pointing that out. To be factual with you, I don't know if you're a girl or a guy. Keza69. I got a nail stuck in this eye. Okay. So it just looks that way, but thanks for pointing it out. Okay, would like $2,000 a month income. How much do I need to get that? Using my system, $2,000, $50,000. That's it. It's $50,000. Okay, 1% of week, 50,000. That's 500 a week. Well, 4 weeks in a month, that's 2,000 a month. So 50,000. Now, how quickly can you get to 50,000? And can you do this successfully without making mistakes? Because it's easy when the markets are up and the markets are good and everybody's making money. It's easy to make money in an up market. The trick here, and don't kid yourself that it ain't happening, it is coming whether you want it to or not. A correction, a crash, a pullback, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the stock market goes up and then it pulls back. And then it goes up and then it pulls back. Okay, and it does it when you least expect it and you really don't want it to happen. So you got to be prepared. Make sure you don't overextend yourself. Make sure you only buy good quality companies that you're okay with holding. Because it's coming whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not. Okay, it's just like retirement. Whether you like the idea of getting old, or whether you're okay with the idea of getting old, or whether you can't wait to get old, whatever it is coming whether you like it or not. You got two choices. Learn to do it yourself or let somebody else do it for you. So we got 11 o'clock. We're basically done. I'm just going to answer whatever questions I have here. Jose, ¿qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? All right. So, Carolyn, I hope that makes sense. Okay, if you only need $2,000 a month, that's only 50 grand. Now, I'm not saying 50 grand is not, is not a lot of money, because it is to some people and not to some others. Westifer, is trading forex like trading futures? I trade the 6 series, but I'm interested in trading pairs. To be 100% honest with you, I can't tell you whether it's good. I can't tell you if it's bad. I tried it once, and it wasn't for me. That's all I'm going to say. It wasn't for me, because it's open 24 hours of the day. Okay, how do you decide when you're going to do it? Okay, so for me, what I do, the stock market opens up at 9:30. So I jump on at 9 and I try to prep myself before the market opens. And then when the market opens, I like to be done within 15 minutes, 9:45. I like to be done. Then I walk away, because I'm not looking to hit a home run every time. Also, I'm looking for is just 1%, and it's relatively easy to get. It only takes a couple of seconds. Okay, what did I buy the stock at? Where's it at now? Where does it look like it's going? What's the safest trade that I can make without putting myself at risk? Well, that's what I ask myself every day. Now, all it is changing a very small routine in your life. So get up 10 minutes earlier, brush your teeth, make your breakfast, get your coffee, get ready for work, sit in front of the computer 5 or 10 minutes, and then look at your positions. Okay, number one, you shouldn't have too many that you can't easily take care of. So don't get too many. Whatever you can comfortably handle. Okay? And then simple. You take a look at the first one. Alcoa, AA. What did I buy it for? What did I sell? What's it at now? Where does it look like it's going? And what should I do next? They're really not that difficult questions. Because I could take a look at a chart. I'm looking for 5 things: the high, the low, where was it, where is it, which direction it's going. It takes me 3 to 4 seconds to look at that. And then I come over here to the numbers. Well, great. What's the number? Well, there it is. What's the closest strike price? There it is. What is that selling for? There it is. It's all right there. So in less than 20 seconds, I can take a look at my position, take a look at which way it's going, and then decide whether or not I need to do something or just move on to the next one. And that takes less than 10 minutes a day. So less than 10 minutes a day for 1 week, that's less than an hour. Well, let's call it an hour. So think about this. If you have, let's say, $50,000, okay? 1% per week is 500. 50,000, 1% is 500. Now, here's the thing. If I spend 1 hour a week, which is 10 minutes a day over 5 days, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 hour, I can get 1%. Well, 1% of a $50,000 account is $500. So my time in that situation would be $500 an hour. Well, I got $150,000 in my account. 1 hour of my time, that's worth $1,500. Now, what if I had $1 million? Well, 1% is $10,000 a week, which means 1 hour of my time would be worth $10,000 an hour. It's always going to depend on how are you looking at it. Context and perception. How am I looking at it? What is it doing for me? Get the system, blah, 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 message, chart. Y'all should be grateful that this man comes out here every evening to spit out wisdom. Instead, y'all to use half the time to read out your foolishness. Thank you there, Chart Hustle. Richard. Got it right. Thank you. Carolyn, thank you. You got it. All right. James is the man. Thanks. Reminds me of my dad. Both men are just wanting to share valuable wisdom to people willing to listen. Keeping on with them. Thank you. I appreciate that. SJM. Isn't that Smuckers? SJM? We're kind of running out of time, but SJM, SJM. It is Smuckers. It's a monthly. Sorry. Okay, I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Sorry. Beer in a foxhole. Thank you. Yes, sir. All righty. My opinion on ETH. Wow, you're here late tonight. No, actually, I'm getting ready to leave. I just want to finish up the last couple of questions. What do we have? Don't you lose money if it goes over your call, but if it doesn't hit your call, you keep the premium. All right, Shin. Not 100% sure what you're talking about, but here's the thing. When you buy a stock, you own it, you get to decide what you're selling it for. Now, when we do covered calls, we predetermine a strike price that we would like to get for it. Okay, if the stock goes down, you still have the opportunity to control the option for what you're going to sell. Hold that thought. Kevsta, is there a way to protect against stock dropping? Dude, well, yeah, Kevsta, that's the whole intention in the first place for stock options. So if you want to protect your stock and you think it's going to go down, you would buy a put option. So as the stock drops, the put option increases, you don't lose any money. Well, that's not what we're doing here, okay? We jump in when the stock's going up, and as the stock's getting ready to come down, we get out. Thoughts on Trump terminating trade negotiations with Canada? I got two things to say about that, Manny. Okay? You ready, Manny? Number one, what are the other details to the story? Because that's just not the whole thing. That's number one. And number two, I don't do politics here. Okay? Because it's very challenging to talk to some people, especially when it comes to politics. Molesta. I sat here sliding a... That's just horrible, dude. Can't even believe it. Skip right over the crypto gaming. Yep, got it. Oh, no. Yeah, Bear in a Foxhole. You read that too? That's disturbing. All right, what else do we have? John, or no tax in an IRA. It's if it is a Roth IRA. Hey, Rod, what's happening? Kate, thank you very much. SLG. What is SLG? Never heard of it. It's a no anyway. What else do we got? What else do we got? Can you check on BMNR? We looked at that yesterday. Hell no. XBI. Jamel Warren, what is XBI? XBI. Spiders, S&P Biotech ETF. Interesting. XBI. Sorry, I just want to write that down because I have no idea who XBI is. All right, so let's go. XBI. And let's see how many dividends has XBI paid out. Okay, Spider, Biotech, dividends. Nice. Take a look at that. 2025, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Uh-oh, we're missing a few. We are definitely missing a few dividends. Uh-oh. T-Cult. When do you think U.S. will be dealt with default on its debt? CVX. Ooh, Bear in a Foxhole. I like Chevron. What will the winning lottery number? Okay, my God, you guys are just getting silly. Okay, so Jamel, let's take a look at this. The first dividend was in 2007. It was 4.5 cents. Then it dropped to less than half a cent. And then went up to 22, and then it went less than a half a cent. Then it was at 5 cents, less than 1,000. Look at, are you serious with these numbers? I'm not even going to bother with that. Okay, Jamel, did you even look at any of these numbers here? Seriously, any of them? Yeah, I'm going to say no, only because the numbers are horrible. Doesn't pay dividends, so it doesn't fit. Thank you there, 86. All right, Dan, for looking amazing to me. Thank you. I get 70% in one day. Yay, A-Rod. Not believing you just made a decision from air. Not quite sure what that means there, A-Rod, but okay. Which stock is that? Oh, that was XBI. Never heard of it, but all righty. Next. Can you check XBI? Jamel, we just did that one. All right. Rich Bruner, how are you today? What's the website you are using there? Okay, Brian Skyman. It's not a website. It is Think or Swim, which is a trading platform. Hollywood. Hollywood's in the house. What's happening, brother? So how he can know. Not quite sure there, A-Rod. You should make your own decisions. Absolutely. What ticker symbol is that? XBI. Okay, all right. VFC. Good luck. Yay, the camera is fine. Thank you. Exactly. BYN. Oh, hell no. BYND only on principle. Am I saying no? Grace, we already looked at Macy's earlier. TX. What is TX? Ternius? What the hell is that? That's a monthly. Hell no. Mr. Bell, thank you for that. Space stock a buy. Too new, brother. Grace, Visa. Interesting. Visa's been going kind of sideways for the last few months. What's your thoughts on trading stocks with private placement offerings? It's fine if you like gambling. And the only reason I say that is because new companies are always a gamble. You just don't know. I take BBY back. Okay. Not trying to talk politics, just thinking of the implications it can have on the market tomorrow. I see what you're saying, Manny. I do. But if I'm looking at companies that are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, have seen a lot of crap in the markets, then usually those companies don't really pay very much attention to minor thoughts. Okay? Alex, actually, thoughts on BBY. Okay, NEM. Bitcoin can tell something. Not necessarily so. David, NEM. Isn't that NEM? Nextera? NEM. Newmont. Damn it. I'm going to say no to Newmont. Look at that run-up. Who came up with Newmont? Newmont. Oh, David. David, take a look at this. It goes from $40 all the way up to 100. Now it's pulling back. Yeah, this thing's going to have profit taken. Think oil will moon? Don't know. If CPI comes in at or below, it's going to be a great Friday. Thank you. NEM Gold has been brutal to me. Okay. I've been picking up tech services. CDW looks to be a buy. Okay. You're long on oil? Okay. Notice. Thank you there, Mike. All right. That being said, we're already past 11 o'clock. Let's see if I can get any of these more. VFC and Kenvue just paid their dividends. Thank you there, Hollywood. 9 cameras. Yep. Tell me about it, Jay. Camera review, XBI, we already looked at it already. What if there were more sellers than buyers? Will the premiums turn shit? Not necessarily so. Thoughts on quantum section? Haven't gotten there yet. Okay, we're going to do all this stuff again another day because we are past 11 o'clock and I'm usually done. Can we move on? Thank you there, Lisa. McDonald's. Didn't we look at, we haven't looked at Mickey D's yet, have we? MCD, Mickey D's. Oh, yes, we did. because we talked about this big jump from here to here. Now it's ready to pull back. Yeah, we already talked about that. Which stocks pay dividends? Mikey, dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders. A lot of things on Warren Buffett's list. There's literally 5,500 companies that pay dividends. 5,500. Sam, hey James, I see from your channel that you have been doing things a long time and your daughter. I hope the best for you and you stay blessed, okay? Love and respect you. Thank you there, Sam. I like getting good stuff. Good. I'm going to quit on a high note because Sam just gave me a good compliment and I'm going to be done for the day. It's past 11 o'clock and I usually go from 9 to 11, so we are done. You guys over here, catch you guys tomorrow at 2:30. And you guys over here, thanks for stopping by. See you again tomorrow. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear. My case for which I'm certain. All right, Sam. Hey, James, I see. Okay, got that one. Thank you.